genocide is a kind of a tricky issue because some people did the investigation, and the people who were doing the genocide, some of them are the people who came out of the country. Because this comes back to the physical look.
Yes.
Because I remember I said maybe 80% of the Tutsi are, you're going to know they are Tutsi. But those are 20%, probably because they're mixed, they're going to look like a regular Hutu. So those people who did not look like a Tutsi, they came during or before the genocide. They mixed with those who were doing the genocide.
They instigated it.
They instigated, they pushed, they even killed. I mean, they did a lot of damage.
So at the time, you think that they are...
Yeah, you think
Tutsi.
that your brothers trying to so that played a really big role. And all those truths started to come out very recently. People start talking. No, those during the genocide, some people, and a lot of time people didn't even know them.
Okay.
Because it's probably someone who comes in here, like, hey, we got to kill all these neighbors because they're doing this one.
We call that a false flag. Have you ever heard that term?
No.
You haven't? So a false flag is, I'm just going to use this as an example. I don't know if it actually happened. So like January 6th, right? When they stormed the Capitol and went inside. There are people that say that there were over 400, I think 300 or 400 FBI agents that instigated that they were trying to get that to happen. And for the reason of blaming it on a political party. Mm-hmm. That's kind of
exactly that
same thing. So that we call that a false flag.
Well,
and the United States has been doing that for a long time.
So the thing is, now that you're talking about United States, a lot of people, some people from my country, some people from other countries, they do not like a political party here in the U.S. because that political party played a very important role in what happened in Africa, in Rwanda.
By them not doing anything, correct?
Oh, not only that. I mean, they kind of, because the thing is, you said something about Hamitics. I don't remember if you said like Hamitic
myth.
Okay, so there is a theory that goes on that because if you go back to the history, the Belgians, they wanted the Tutsi people to dominate above everyone. Mm-hmm. So that thing came back in the 1990s. Basically, some Western countries wanted that group of people again to reign over Africa, actually the entire African country. So they wanted a place to start. So, I mean, this is history. And there's found those people who left the country a long time ago, who wanted to go back to the country, because that is how a lot of countries are governments are overthrown. You're going to find a group that is in exile that wants to go back, and then you help them out. So some Western countries, including the US and Canada and the UK, they wanted some minerals or some stuff in the and they wanted to use this group of people, the Tutsi people, which was in exile for a long time, to get to Rwanda.
Yeah.
So they wanted that group to be able to get to Rwanda, and from Rwanda to go into all the different countries. So they helped them. That was some of the people came here in America to train. They were, as I said, it is not a secret. The actual president,
Clinton.
The actual Rwandan president.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, he came in the U.S. right before the genocide. He came in the U.S. to get military training. And he had a lot of friends here in America, some business people, some people who wanted to do businesses after he becomes the president or whatever. So that means there were like a lot of some contract that we heard. Starbucks did some, because Rwanda has a lot of coffee, really good organic coffee. So some people,
that's their main export, correct?
Yes, it's the main export. Some people did some business plans.
I had read about that to where I guess that the coffee prices went down so low that it hurt the country. I don't know if that was any part of the cause of what was going on or not, but that's not sure. What you're
I don't know.
about.
But what I know is just some of the country wanted the Rwandan coffee just for themselves, And the one way was to help some businessman from Tutsis. If you help us to get to the power in Rwanda, yes, we're going to make sure this coffee only goes to you. So that was the one. This is just one
Did
deal.
this come out recently, or
No, this
has been out for a while?
This has been out for. I mean, I don't know if it is somewhere, but this is just one story that I heard.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yes, I mean, and so that is just one example. Another example is that in the Congo is very rich, so people can't. U.S. tried to go to Congo for long after one of the president died, Lumumba. Actually, Mobutu, he was one of the long president. He was a pro-America at the beginning, and then he changed. He became a pro-communist. He became a communist, and then America did not like him. So basically, they were trying to find a way to get rid of him. He became a dictator, so he closed the borders. He kicked out a lot of Belgians and all that stuff. So America was trying to find a way to get back to that country.
For the resources.
For the record, Congo is a very rich country. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons, so how to get there, Rwanda was one of the small door to get to Congo. And that's why people say people didn't mind about those people who died, they were like sacrifices, those people who died in Rwanda. Because there was a bigger plan that a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
That was behind. Some people wanted to get somewhere, and some people were on the way, and they had to make some. So a lot of things that are happening, a lot of strategies that RPF used, those are strategies that Americans use, even up to now. A lot of things that do, military strategies, trainings, clothing, business plans, everything is just like American copy-paste.
Golly, Ange. I mean, I was disappointed in my country for so long, and you just increased it.
I mean, this is just a random example, but just go to other countries. I mean, they're going to say the
I've
same
seen
thing.
It. Yeah, they do the same thing.
I know America welcomed. Some people even say some Americans feel guilty, especially the leaders. They feel guilty of what they do in other world, and that was they open up the borders. I mean, not the borders, the immigration for people to come here.
Yes.
Because I was one person was saying, why are you an immigrant? Why do you guys come here? I think it was like a comic or a comedy of some Philippine. He was saying, okay, maybe I'm here because of you. He was kind of blaming. Okay, I'm here because
the reason.
Yeah, you're the reason why I'm here. So if you did not go there in my country, I would not be here. So that is just like one example of what happened. But anyway, so yes, so some political party here was blamed. It was the Democratic Party was blamed during that time to be behind, helping those people to, to start all that stuff that happened in Rwanda.
No, I did not know that. Yeah. That is interesting. What I did hear though is so the year before, that's when Mogadishu happened and Black Hawk Down.
Yes, and
that's the excuse that they used to not get involved with stopping the genocide. That's the excuse that then President Clinton used. He says, we're not going to get involved in it. And I want to say they even reluctantly, they didn't even want to call it a genocide. Have you heard that?
Yes, I did hear about that, but I don't remember exactly what.
And then
he
went a while later and said that he messed up, but I didn't know about the other part. Everything
was planned before, because the thing is, if America came to intervene, I don't know if it is to stop, so that would not have help people. Let's say if I'm trying to attack your country, if I'm trying to get in your house,
yeah,
and if your neighbor is going to come stop me, then I'm not going to be able to get in your house. So if I want to get in your house, I will make sure I talk to your neighbor, say, hey, don't come there, act like you did not hear me, breaking into the door or something. So people say that America knew, or it was told not to intervene, because if America intervened, then it was going to stop the genocide, and then the RPF was not going to find a way to come in the country, and the plan was going to be ruined.
They had control over the RPF.
Yes, they had control over the RPF
in order to get into Congo.
Yes, that was a plan after, because it happened right just like 2 years after. There was like a Congo war, like one of the longest war until today.
Okay.
It just happened. I mean,
And you were there at that time.
yes, it was in 1996.
And there were 300,000 that died.
In
I think,
the Congo or
in the Congo.
that was they say. They say that because the Hutu after the Rwanda was completely conquered by the RPF, all of the Hutu or whoever identified as a Hutu, they fled the country to go in the Congo. In the refugee camps, there was like millions of people, at least 1 million refugees. So some people say, because there were some Tutsi people who were living in the Congo for a long time, from colonial times. So some people said those refugees started killing the Tutsi there as a retaliation. Say, oh, your brother just kicked us out of the country. Now we're going to kill you guys. Actually, some of the RPF people came from Congo, because when the RPF was looking for people to recruit to attack Rwanda, they went to the Congo, Burundi, Uganda, found anybody who wanted to, even if you are a Hutu and you just want money or you want to go, so they took you. So now a lot of those, families in the Congo, their kids had gone into Rwanda to fight. So now when the Tutsi, when the refugee camps, I heard they started killing. I mean, I don't know. I did not see that, but that is one of the information there, that they start killing the Tutsi people there, and those Tutsi people run in Rwanda. So basically, the Hutu left to Rwanda to come to Congo, and the Tutsi Congo ran to Rwanda, and that started another war. And the Rwanda was like, oh, okay.
So you're caught in the middle of all this.
Yes.
The entire time.
So, yes, because it wasn't. So that was like within 1994 to 1996. That is when it happened. So I mean, it's just a mix. And then now Rwanda found a reason why to go in Congo, because they say the Tutsi people in Congo are threatened. We have to go save them. That was one of the reasons. And another reason was the Hutu, who are refugees, that riot the border. And they're causing problems, which I believe it could be true, because there were like a bunch of refugee camps right there by the Rwandan border. So some of them could go back in Rwanda, cause trouble or whatever. So Rwanda wanted to kick them away from the borders. So that was two of the official reasons why Rwanda went to Congo in war.
Okay. To
kick away to destroy those refugee camps, which was a threat to Rwanda, and to rescue those Tutsi people who were in Congo.
Are there any good people in this story?
Sounds like everybody's bad and the world's ugly. There is no good, it's bad and it's ugly.
Well, and that's what I had heard, that the UN was there the entire time, but they were told not to do anything, correct?
The entire time in Rwanda or in Congo?
I thought they were in both. But...
Actually, they were in both.
Okay.
But the thing is, the UN, because the thing is... the
peacekeepers.
Yeah, the peacekeepers. Yeah. But the thing, the peacekeepers are, I mean, some people say the UN is a corrupt organization. So, I mean, it just depends on if you want to...
If this ever gets popular, Ange, you just got me canceled.
You can edit that part out. Yes. I mean, this is just, yes, I mean...
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, but it depends on, but the thing is that UN sometimes it does the right job, sometimes it does not, sometimes UN is involved in bad things.
Because the UN gets a lot of its money from the United States, who wants to go into Rwanda, who wants to, okay.
And another thing is the UN uses people from different countries. Like, for example, UN in Congo, they might use like people from some Asian country or from some African country. So those people are probably not going to do the job or how they're supposed to do it. Or so. I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy, but the thing is, the UN, if you don't want UN to be involved, or if you want UN to do something for you, you have to go through US. You have to be a friend of US or some US authorities, and then they're going to tell UN what to do. So UN is probably going to make up some stories. I mean, it happened in many different places where the rebels are going to go right through the UN gate, and they're going to do bad stuff. And they'll be like, what was the UN doing? So all those kind of things. That is what Congo recently kicked out the UN.
Oh, they did?
Yes, like a year ago, 1 or 2 years ago.
Okay.
We'll be like, these people been in the country for the last 10 years. There's never been peace, so we don't know what they're keeping. So they just, the president like, okay, please, you have 1 year to live. They've been there for long, actually, because I think he or his party said that this UN people are accomplice. They're actually doing the part of the mineral. Excuse me.
You're right.
This UN peacekeepers, quote, they're part of the problem. They are helping the enemy to get in the country, and the enemy, talking about Rwanda, they're helping the enemy to get in the country to do all this stuff, to cause all these problems. So that's why he decided, thank you, UN, thank you for everything, but you need to go. We're going to take care of our country. We're going to figure out how to bring peace in the country on our own.
Not a bad idea.
I mean,
it's funny because we support the UN, and every gun owner that I know is like, I do not want the UN to be in our country, because that's one of their things. That's the way they keep peace, is they'll take away firearms and things like that.
Yes.
So you cannot protect yourself.
Yeah, or protect yourself, or take back your country if you need to, because I mean, it's just it is a tool. So if you know how to get into so UN basically is like the big boss. Mm-hmm. So if you like at work, if you want to get favors, or if you want to stay here at work for a long time, if you don't want to have Trump, you have to be friend with the boss. So the UN is like the boss everywhere. Whatever you want, UN can do anything in Africa. I mean, up to until a few years ago, but now, because now countries are starting to know that the UN is not, even Haiti, they don't want a UN there, because I think UN did not do any good job there.
Haiti?
Yeah, Haiti.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't want to, actually, I think US has been having a problem who to send there, because usually they send the UN everywhere.
There's Hutu in Haiti?
No, Haiti is just another country.
Oh, I thought you said Hutu.
No.
Oh, who to send there?
Yeah, okay. There you go. Who to send there? Sorry.
We start confusing it all.
Yes.
So back to the ID cards. They set up roadblocks, and that's when they were checking the ID cards. That goes back to always goes back to those ID cards, and that's who they decided to kill. Correct?
Yes, if you
so
had
since they were doing that, you had to take a path that was not on a regular road, correct?
You mean doing the genocide?
When you were running out of the country.
I put the genocide because that's what a lot of people are going to know. Because when you talk about Rwanda, people are going to know, oh, genocide, yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking about the war. But I did survive, because there is actually people talk about 2 genocides now. And that is something that some people don't want to talked about, because there was a first genocide, the one that everybody knows,
1994,
those 100 days. That is a genocide where people died, majority of Tutsi and the moderate Hutus, or people who are sympathizers of Tutsi. And again the genocide, you remember what I said earlier, some people who were inciting the genocide. So there was a genocide, but people don't really know who. No, people don't have a details of who was killing who. Because
of what you just said.
Yes, what I said before. So, but in general, there was a genocide. 2 people died. But after there was a retaliation when the RPF when the RPF was coming, because it was coming to stop the genocide, but a lot of Hutu people.
Then they started killing people too.
Yes, and that is the thing that.
So that's why they won't say how the total.
Yes.
It's either anywhere between 500 to 100,000. Was it during? Well, this was after the 100 days.
That was during, because right when the genocide started in April. That is when, because the genocide, the plane was shot down on April 7th or 6th, and the genocide started the same night. So the RPF attacked the country the same night. Because the RPF was waiting for that moment to happen. For the
it's like they knew it was going to happen.
Actually, some RPF people were already in the country as a negotiation, because some 600 soldiers, because they were trying to bring peace. We'd be like, okay, because we saw them actually, that this is like a public news. Some 600 people, Tutsi from Tutsi armies, were brought from Uganda to Rwanda to start the peace process. We'd be like, okay, this is the 600 people. They're going to start mixing with the actual Hutu. So they were living in Kigali at that moment. And they were basically like maybe a few months later, they were going to start mixing with the Rwandan army and they start, process. But some people say those 600 people, those were special forces, like a really trained. So those are the people who, when everything started going apart, those people because they had already some arms hidden somewhere in Kigali. And that is something that, because we knew one of the arm hidden location was found like some time before the genocide. And they were bringing the arms during the night prior to the genocide. Actually, the RPF people, they were bringing guns, arms, because there weren't any preparation of something going to happen. So
just because you're talking about it, I'm assuming that owning a firearm is not legal in Rwanda, or at that point.
No, I'm not talking about like regular arms to defend yourself. I'm talking about big arms, like a war, to make a war. It was a hit,
grenades, things like that.
Yes, like for example, if I want to cause a chaos.
Well, is owning a firearm, is that illegal in Rwanda or is that legal?
I really don't know. Because in
so
Africa,
do you think, just because we kind of touched on it earlier, do you think that if there was an armed population, would that have happened?
Good question. Yes, it would still have happened.
It just may have been worse.
Yeah, it would, because the people, every time it happened, people did not even use their arms.
Okay.
Yeah, because people were killing others, they did not use the guns. So
yeah, because I read in your book that there were some people within the refugee camp that had firearms.
Yeah, that was after the genocide, because the people ran away and the people start eluding arms storage. When the government fell apart after the president died, then people start stealing guns, and it became a chaos. But now coming back to the part, so basically after the RPF comes in Rwanda to rescue the Tutsis who are being killed, and now is killing the Hutu that they found everywhere, because they say, okay, even some Tutsi died because the RPF said, if you are a Tutsi and you've been in this country for this long, you were supposed to be with us outside of the country. So if you are here, you probably are an enemy.
Okay.
So those people died too. Those are some Tutsi who died and who were not killed by Hutus. They were killed by the RPF because they accused them of living with the enemy. So those people died during the genocide. So now we as my family left the country 1 week after the airplane was shut down, because the RPF was coming closer to where we are. So basically, I was a part of a big group of Hutu who were running, so we didn't have to go through like a roadblocks or something.
Okay? Yeah,
it was.
See, because in your book, do you even say if you're Hutu or Tutsi?
No, I do not. So
because I didn't know if that was something like, I don't know if I should ask that or not. I didn't know if that was proper or.
No, I did not say that, because in the book I tried to stay away from anything that would identify me or that would identify my ethnic. People are probably going to know which side I am on. But the thing is, one thing that I tried to stay away, I did not name. I'm saying a lot of RPF here. I'm talking about Kagame, the president, or Tutsi. I don't think I even said only in general.
You just state the facts.
Yeah, I state the fact, and just because I didn't want to have a problem there, or some people even said I was supposed to say more than I said. Some extremist.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Hey, that book was because you suffered, and especially because a lot of my book, I'm usually try to focus on what happened after that genocide, which is still a mystery from different people. So yes, what happened after? So basically, we ran. So the RPF was killing those many people, and in the refugee camps, many people died there. And after the refugee camps,
from disease
not only from disease, from the country, the Rwandan people who were attacking the refugee camps, and they attacked all the Hutus survivors a long time after the genocide. So that is the second genocide that people don't talk about, because more than 1 million people died.
Yes.
After the first genocide. So that is another genocide that people talk about. And when we talk about it, or when people talk about it, sometimes they're accused of denying the first genocide. That a lot of people just want to talk about the first one because it benefits to some people, but they don't want to talk about the second one. And that is what I kind of talk about, because I went through. I mean, I lost like almost three people in my family.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. So
Yes.
you have a twin sister, and you still don't know if she's alive or not?
No, I still don't know.
Okay. You lost a little sister. What was she, 2?
No, it was two brothers.
2 brothers.
Yes, it was one was an infant in a refugee camp because he was in a tent, and there was the one he was a little bit older, but he died during the long walks.
I thought, did you lose one to disease?
Yes, there was the older one, the one who. I mean, sometimes you don't even know if it's a disease or hunger.
Okay.
Those two things were happening at the same times. So but it was probably a combination, because usually when you are sick, you're supposed to eat some
your
soup.
immune system's gone.
You know, so it was a mix of those.
And you haven't seen your dad?
My dad, I have seen him. So I went back. I went back to visit Rwanda in
That's when in 2012 you saw your dad. Have you
Yes.
been back since?
No, not since.
But you want to move back?
Uh,
Man, 4th of July is not going to be the same if you're not here.
Well, I mean, even to go back, the thing is that I self-published the book, so I don't know if I did not criticize anybody, or the current president or current government. So I don't know if after, because I published the book after I never went back to Rwanda after I published the book, self-published the book. So I don't know if that would be a problem for me to go back there.
I don't think you said anything.
I did not say, but the problem that I'm talking about things that people don't want to talk. I talked about people who died in those refugee camps in the Congo jungles, which is another.
Well, and whenever I talked to you the other night, and I was asking you about it, and you seemed apprehensive, and you were talking about how did you word it? Not Holocaust denier, genocide deniers.
Yes.
So, is it true that it's actually illegal to talk about your ethnicity in Rwanda right now?
No, it is not illegal.
Okay, so that's another thing that I read evidently that's.
It is not illegal. It's just people are just afraid. I mean, it depends on who is talking. So the people who are in the powers, they can talk about themselves. Because the Tutsi have the power since the 1994.
Okay.
So I mean, if someone is a Tutsi, they can talk. Yes, I'm Tutsi and I'm powerful. I'm blah blah. They can say whatever they want.
I have to send you that article. I read something that it's like, it basically says no, you cannot even say if you're Hutu. You cannot say you're Tutsi. And matter of fact, it was something like 100 days during a memorial where you can actually freely talk about what happened. I have to find that article.
Okay.
I have to find it.
So now that things have kind of flipped, is there's still a lot of tension? Like things have not really gotten back to a good state? I
mean, for outsiders, like Americans, when they go visit, they say everything looks beautiful, especially because a lot of people just stay in Kigali. They stay in Kigali, which looks beautiful according to a lot of people. But the thing is, when you go to the outside of Kigali, start going to the actual rural areas, things are bad. I mean, the poor and the people there underdeveloped. So talking about if there is a tensions, right now, so Rwandese people are very secret people. We keep our problem to ourselves. For foreigners, everything is fine. There are no tensions. But for between Rwandans, they know. Because when I went to visit my father in 2012, that is more than 12 years ago, we could not even talk about politics, even in your house, because wars actually here in Rwanda. Wars have ears in Rwanda. My father, he could not even talk about politics. He had to whisper if he wanted to talk about someone like in the government or something. So, I mean,
so things are still kind of on edge.
Yes, but people try to kind of. It is still a subject because the people are afraid the same thing could happen. Because the people are still oppressed. There's been one party for the last 30 years on power.
Still Tutsi?
And for minority. That is
so
another
it's
thing.
Basically, is it building up to be basically the same thing over again, you think? Or
yes, it could.
Oh, man.
It could. Definitely. I mean, it's a possibility.
Is the Tutsi population higher now? Has
No.
that reversed? Okay. So they're still the minority, even though they have more power?
Yes. I mean, because the thing is, Rwanda now is a mix. A lot of those people who were living outside of the country for those many years from 1950s to 1994, there were those Tutsi who were mixing with Burundians, mixing with Congolese. So some of those people after the Hutu mass people left the country, there was a vacuum. So a lot of our houses were empty. There was not a lot of things. So, but I mean, it's like the country was about 7 million, maybe a million people died.
2 million fled, correct?
And 2 million fled. So, I mean, that was like almost half of the population. So now a lot of those people from Congo, Burundi, Uganda, Tanzania, they came back to start living in the country. So now the country is kind of mixed. You know, it's a lot.
So they were taking advantage of the, I guess, lower prices and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Even my house was taken by someone.
It's funny that you were talking about this because there's a lot of people saying that's what's happening in the Ukraine right now.
Oh.
It's like that's the reason why, so that developers can go in there and take advantage of the cheaper prices, which is
bad.
Very evil.
Bad business.
It's a bad business. So there's several, I mean, you have to read the book, Michael. There's several instances throughout the book to where, I mean, I don't know how you're alive, Ange. There's several, like on the bridge.
Yes.
Explain the bridge.
Okay, there are many bridges, but
you had a graphic on one that trying to explain what happened.
Yes, I remember that bridge. I think it was in a place they called Rubutu. So basically, there was a big refugee camp right before the bridge, and that is where we stationed for like 2 or 3 days waiting. Because a lot of time when we walked along faster, then we camped to a place, and then we waited to see if those people who were following us would reach. So every time we get news they're coming close, then we start moving again. So this one morning, we've been camping in this refugee camp for like 2 or 3 days. And then we hear that the rebels are coming. I think in my book I just talk about rebels. I don't usually say RPF.
You said rebels.
I just say rebels because it was a mix of Ugandans, Rwandans, Congolese. It was just a mess. But they were killing Hutu refugees for sure. So that's why we had to run. So basically, we hear that in the morning they're coming. So basically, we had to move, and just like maybe 1 or 2 miles from the refugee camp, there was a bridge, a small bridge. Everybody had to go through to be able to move forward.
How wide was the bridge?
I would say, let me see. Barely a car could move through.
That's
just
small.
one car.
And you're talking about how many refugees?
We're talking about hundreds of thousands of refugees.
So they're waiting.
They're waiting. I mean, so people try to kill others to be able to move through. Because the problem is, even though we were all the same group, the same ethnic group, the same refugees, when the fear comes, I mean, people are going to start doing bad stuff. Yeah. You know, because you know that
starvation causes desperation.
Starvation and the fear, because you know if those people come and they find you at the bridge, they're going to kill you. So you're gonna step on children to be able to go through.
If I have my kids, sorry, Ange, you're out.
I mean, some people say that.
Yeah.
I don't mean to ask something too personal, so please don't answer if it is. But so if the rebels come across a group like this. Is this like we're going to kill everybody indiscriminately, women, children?
Yes, actually, it did happen. It did happen many times because, I mean, I think the day when I separated with my father, that is how it happened. So we were trying to go down a hill and they just start shooting in there. They start shooting and basically everyone is just running. I mean, because they know exactly that group of people. Those are refugees. I mean, one of the video clips that the current president says, I think there is a very interesting document that just came out, I think this year. It is in English. I don't know. It was like a bunch of journalists who came together to try to show exactly what is Rwanda, or who is the current president of Rwanda. So everything that he did in Rwanda and the outside of the Rwanda, how, you know, the extrajudicial killings, all that stuff. I have to find the title and send it to you.
What do you mean the extrajudicial killings?
For example, like if I'm here and I'm trying to say something that does not benefit the Rwandan government or that could put the Rwandan government, they're going to have people come here kill me. So
Here?
Here in the U.S.
Well, Ange, I don't want to put this on the internet now.
So that is why maybe you have to edit. Maybe you have to edit and some stuff because, I mean, we're having a conversation.
That's fine.
Yes, but I mean, some.
I mean, genuinely, I even if this doesn't go anywhere, I've always wanted to ask you about this stuff, but I'm like, I don't know how to ask you about it.
This is a very Rubaita. There is a guy who came up with the movie Hotel Rwanda.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what happened to him like in the last couple of years, 2 years? So
was he killed?
He was kidnapped. He lives in San Antonio. He's a U.S. resident, I believe. He has a citizenship from Belgium. Someone tricked him to go visit another country, to go through Doha, like Qatar, and they put him in a private jet. They dragged him, and then he ended up in Rwanda because they wanted him. He ended up in Rwanda, even though he did not want to go. I mean, he spends the next 2 years in the prison. I mean, if he was not famous, if he did not make that movie to be known by Americans, he would not still be alive.
I never heard about that.
Oh yeah, Rusesabagina, check him out. I mean, he was in prison. Now he's like a big. I mean, he became like after what happened to him. Now he's like, you know what? Now I'm gonna go into politics openly because what happened to me was wrong.
So, now he's got the fight in him.
Yes. So coming back to that, now here in the U.S., yes, people get killed here. They say they got run over the car. There's a poison. You remember there's a poison that Russians used to kill people.
Yes.
Rwanda is using that one.
They do the same thing.
So I mean,
here.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just the country is powerful. It's powerful. They have like a really complicated means of getting to whatever they want. I mean, they listen to everything. If they know like I'm a political opponent or that I talk about the country, they're gonna bug my phone because they have a really powerful Pegasus software made by Israelis, which they use to spy.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like an expensive tool, but Rwanda uses it.
I've heard that they can get into any phone.
Yes, Rwanda is one of the countries that use it. It is I think Rwanda was one of the.
I forgot what it's called. I know what you're talking about.
It's a Pegasus. That is
yes,
how they call
yes.
it. Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Yeah, Pegasus.
I have heard about that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You've put us at risk, Ange.
Just delete everything after we have a conversation. Just delete everything. Put in the trash and make sure you burn the trash. Okay.
And scatter the ashes somewhere. There was a decent Christian population among both people groups, correct? At the time of the genocide?
Yes, correct.
So my follow-up question to that is, why did that not prevent some of this? Like, is this in the sense of, if you go down the block and you knock on 10 people's houses and say, hey, are you a Christian? Maybe this isn't true as much now, but, 20 years ago, 9 out of 10 are going to say, yeah, I'm a Christian. Even if they don't go to church, even if it doesn't affect their life in any meaningful way. So is it like that, just very cultural Christianity, therefore it didn't prevent any violence or any of the genocide, or was it able just to kind of be set aside and compartmentalized, if that...
Yes, my thought on that is going to be it will be personal. It is not so the Christianity that was in Rwanda in 1994 was mostly Roman Catholic, which is very passive.
Yes. Well, it's like that here too.
Yes, yeah. It is not like the other Pentecostal churches where people talk about love, loving each other. They scream, they teach, all that stuff. People get emotional. People really know. But in the Catholic churches, which was predominantly, which was maybe like 90% of the Christian churches in Rwanda, I mean, you just go there in the morning, people, have like the same thing every time. So people don't really, the Christians.
It's more of a cultural thing now.
Yeah, cultural thing.
So I had read that they had, during the trials after the genocide, and they're trying, I think, close to 1 million people for participating in the murders. Among those people were nuns and priests.
Being judged?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, there were many. Actually,
because the people were going into the churches for safety, and then the priest would end
Kick 'em
up
out.
killing them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, actually, the Roman Catholic Church had to do a lot of
Apologies.
apologies. Thank you. Apologies for their members participating in the genocide or not saving people or not doing stuff. Because I mean, some of the stories that I heard, some people would run to the churches to try to find refuge, and then some church member would call the actual killers to come find them because maybe the priest was from this part, or maybe the priest was the priest could have already been told, hey, if you don't tell us, we're gonna kill you. Because a lot of these things, they say you kill or you be killed, or you help or you be killed. I mean, sometimes it's like that one. So you tell us what these people are, and we're not gonna kill you. And people are going to make a tough decision during that.
Because of course, from not being in that situation, it's easy for me to judge and say, well, if you believe in Jesus, why didn't you protect people or not be violent? But like you just said, you're put in that position and killed or be killed.
I don't think people knew about Jesus that time. Even though they were Christians, they would go to church. I was a confirmed Catholic. I don't think I knew. I mean, I was only 7 years old. By my divine, she's 7 years old. She's 9, but she knows about Jesus and everything. But back there, I didn't know about Jesus. People don't know Jesus' love, all that stuff they don't know. But the thing is, it was just, I think that, as you said, when this came out, the Christianity or whatever people believe about, it just went away, and then something else took over,
And that's very similar to what happened in Germany. A lot of the churches were very passive, and Christians were kind of just let things happen as they unfolded.
Yes.
A lot of similarities. Well, that's what I'm saying is that it seems like there's a lot of similarities to even stuff going on here with all especially like this week, one side of politics hating the other, and they're animals and they're racist and
every time there is only two opposing opinions or parties or people, that is when the problems start happening. Because some countries have many different tribes, they don't have this many problems. But Rwanda, that was a curse and that was a good, because Rwanda had only one language, so people were so very united because we only spoke one language, the same culture, but we only have those two major tribes. So either one is going to be on the power and the other is going to have to be out. So that is how it has been since 1960.
So the worst thing in the world for them is not for the country, but for the people that want to control it, is for everybody to be united.
No, actually, it's to make your people powerful enough. And for you, what do you mean by united?
What was the purpose of dividing the country between Hutu and Tutsi? Like, what's the purpose? Who benefited from that?
Oh, it was the colonies, the Belgians.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And so, like, that benefited them. The worst thing at that point was for everyone to be united and say, we don't need you.
Unfortunately, the problem is that was a good politics for the colonialists during that time. And when they left, because a lot of African countries became independent, but the problem that they stayed like that, those divisions, they stayed.
That's what I'm getting at.
If those African people were smart enough, actually some countries that are becoming, if they were smart enough, we were divided by these people.
Okay, so it's funny you say that, because that's what I had read in that story where they said it's I don't know if it's illegal or you're not supposed to talk about your ethnicity at all in Rwanda. They said that they have a logo or a saying now, not a logo. We are all Rwandan. Have you heard that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, all right.
But the thing is it just to lie to because I'm sure there is a big billboard or sign say we are Rwandan. But it's just to show people from outside that, yes, that is true. But the thing is, how are you going to say that if everybody in the army is only one tribe?
So lurking underneath, that's just kind of the image that's projected.
It's the image, because I mean, if when you come to my house, I want to make sure you see my kids are fine. But when you leave, make
sure. The real chaos unfolds.
So that is what it is. We are.
So you're thinking it's just for show then?
Yeah, it's just for show. I mean, a lot of people know because
I'm never going to be able to put this on the internet. I appreciate it, Ange.
Just cut that part out.
You're going to have to tell me which parts
Send
to
me
cut
the
out.
whole 5, then I will just cut it.
You'll have to tell me which
You
parts
end up
to
with
cut
only
out.
5 minutes show, which will not make sense.
I mean, we're all gonna get bombs put in our car because you were talking about the U.S. and all of our
I'm a little
involvement
fish.
in the UN
I'm
and
a little
whatnot.
fish. I'm a little fish. So
Yeah, but it is I mean, this is America. People talk and they have a conversation about this stuff. I mean, I don't know who's going to listen to, but probably not a lot of Americans, a lot of Africans, because a few Africans listen to podcasts, especially when they get longer, like yours, 2 hours.
well, I told you I'll go as long as you want. Hey,
But
I heard. Well, I didn't listen to the whole thing. There was one I listened to yesterday, 8 hours, just on this.
Honestly, I would not listen to anything.
And none of
more
them were Rwandan.
Really?
Yeah, they were from different parts of Europe and the U.S. I think, but they had all studied the politics behind it, and I mean it's pretty interesting.
Oh, behind the Rwanda?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That they were historians, and it was pretty in depth. But
Wow, I
yeah,
don't know
8
people
hours.
spend
8
that
hours
much
for a
time
podcast.
for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much I love something.
We're-
I'm not listening for 8 hours.
We got another 6 to go, so we're good.
what did they want to achieve? Like, they just want to inform people, or they had an agenda?
I think it's sad.
or-
So I was reading your book yesterday at lunch, and a lady came over to me and was asking, "Oh, what's that about?" And I think that's sad. I really do. I mean, it's like, hey, it's just only like the largest genocide in the last 30 years. Figure we should know a little bit about it,
Right.
and I feel like it wasn't talked about enough. Like you probably learned quite a bit.
Oh yeah, tons.
Yeah, and I mean, anybody I talk to, it's like, no, I don't really know. I don't really, and then I'll say, well, have you seen Hotel Rwanda? Just like this lady, I say, have you seen Hotel Rwanda? Oh yeah, well, that's what that's about.
Yes.
And that's what they know is just the movie, and that's how I was. But I don't know, maybe it's a personal thing, just because I love you and your family. Grace went through similar
Yes.
events. I would like to talk to her about it sometime, if she's willing to. Just because I don't know, when you learn from other people, then maybe you don't make those mistakes.
Yes.
Like, what do you think that could have prevented all of that? Do you know? And then we'll wrap it up because it has been 2 hours.
Yes. That is a good question, but maybe God, because the thing is that it was planned by powerful people. So even though people don't know or people don't see the roots, just cutting those small branches that were coming out of the earth was not going to stuck, because they were like deep roots, and people had a bigger agenda. They were like a big people behind it, and as I was saying, some Western countries, and we can see that even some of one of the result. One of the things that let's say if there was another genocide, I'm sure I'm going kind of back, but if there was another genocide, probably some of the electrical vehicles here would be more expensive, because there will not be cheap battery materials coming from Congo, because the Rwanda is providing them very easily.
That is from Congo. They do cobalt, correct?
Cobalt, and it is cheaper. Some companies in the world are able to get them very cheap. Rwanda, from coffee and tea producer in 1994, it became one of the exporters of some of those minerals. One of the first or the second world export of some of those minerals.
And this is a country that's the size of Massachusetts.
Actually, I was Vermont, because I was looking what is a country that looks like Rwanda in landscapes and the size. So it's between Vermont, it's small, it's totally similar to Rwanda, and the Maryland is totally a little bit bigger. So it's between Vermont and the Maryland in size.
But a higher population.
Yes, right now I think it's like almost 13 million right now.
Yeah.
So yes, so Rwanda opened a big door for big corporations, big countries to achieve whatever they wanted. So
are they mining there now?
What do you mean mining?
Are they getting the minerals out of Rwanda, or is it just out of the Congo?
So basically, Rwanda is the middleman.
I got you.
Is the middleman or the broker. And that is one of the reasons why the war in Congo is not ending, because people are using tribal, ethnic problems
for their benefit.
As a something to show, hey, we're having this problem, and underneath the digging, the minerals. Yeah, these people are fighting. Yes, they keep digging.
See, I think there's again, that's where I think there's a lot of similarities with what's going on here. Mm-hmm. It's like they keep you distracted with one thing over here that everybody gets upset about. Meanwhile, they're doing all this other stuff.
And that is why the actual president of Congo, he knows. I mean, he knows about everything what's going on. He knows how it started, and he knows the truth. He's like, I know my enemies. There is no problem about this here. It is some other people who doing this stuff. So basically, to go back to your question, I really don't see if there was any way to avoid the genocide in 1994 just because of why it happened, because some people wanted the power, and there was a small people. Let's say if there is another party here in the U.S., like let's say there's a third party here, which is people barely talk about it. Things like if that party wants to become on the power, they know they will probably.
Well, we just saw that with RFK Jr. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's one of that party.
He became third party, and then they wouldn't let him debate. They wouldn't let him do anything.
So let's say that is an example. Let's say if he's like, okay, I want to become a president of this country. People know there is no way. But maybe you can find a way, a magic way. Maybe I don't know how that would happen in the U.S., but that is just an example for that small party or people or that percentage of people to become on a power in another country where democratically would not. So basically, democratically, the Tutsi were not going to rule the country, Rwanda. So that was a fact, democratically. So there was going to be another way which is not democratic, and the war and the genocide was the only way.
That's the only way it could have happened.
That was the only way it could have happened.
Well, I'm going to cut it off then, because I know it's been 2 hours. I will pick it back up again, though.
Yes, I will.
I enjoy doing this, even though I can't put it on the internet because you put our lives at risk.
Maybe you're going to have another day. We only talk about other stuff. But yes, this is because I know we've been talking back and forth. Maybe it is not organized because we've been
that's why I said it was just a conversation, stuff that I've been considering and thinking about for a long time, but I didn't know if my thought process was in the right headspace.
Yes, but so to sum it up, I mean, Rwanda is just a small country, barely see it on the map, but it's just like a body. When you have something on your body, you're still going to feel it. So Rwanda, even though it is a small part of the world, things that happen there actually did affect the world in some ways, because some people talked about Rwanda, especially recently after that the article. After the publication came out, people talked about Rwanda being doing people. Some Rwandan kid killed some people in the UK, and it was a big problem. So basically, there's some ramifications from what happened in 1994. I'm here because of that. Some people are, there's just different things that could affect. Even though it is a small country, but you're going to see a lot of Rwandese people everywhere in the world. Some things are going to happen. I mean, people are going to die. People in Congo, millions.
Me and Leslie tried to adopt one.
Yes.
Do you remember him?
Oh, yes, I remember him.
Jackson?
Yes. Yeah. Jackson, yes.
Yeah. He doesn't know that, but we were like, he's 18. Can't adopt him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, man, I appreciate you taking the time, though.
Sure, it was my pleasure, definitely.
We'll do it again.
Yes.
Super informative. Learned a lot. So thank you for sharing.
And thank you for coming, Michael.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. We'll call it good. Appreciate it, Ange.
All right, sure.
All right.